When you say, why don't they believe me? We want to say, it's because you're not believable. And the reason you're not believable is because you're contradicting your own belief with other beliefs. You've got to believe in your own business before you can ask anybody else to.
What can they do to show you how you can absolutely, doesn't matter what the season is a bad season financially a good or bad time to start a business? Tell me, which one? When the economy is toughest, is it a good or bad time to start a business? You tell me. Which one? You go, well, of course, that's what he expects me to say is good. But it's the truth. If you look at the Fortune 1000 companies around the world, 65% of them were started in a depression or a recession. The reason is they were started with somebody when all the competition was freaking out. Somebody could start, like Apple Computers, in the middle of a recession with selling their Volkswagen bus and coming out with some ideas because everybody else was scared and wasn't willing to do whatever it took. Disney started in the Depression, right? Fortune magazine started in a depression. How are you going to build your fortune in the middle of a depression? It's why they're one of the strongest companies in the magazine business, and a business that's pretty horrible for most people. If you look at Microsoft, it was a recession. You look at the best and most powerful companies, it's because they understood something that's really critical, and that is, don't ask it be easier, ask and make yourself better. If you get strong during the tough time, you'll dominate for the rest of your life. I think the drive is the biggest mistake I think businesses make is many businesses are started by people that you built the product you love. And that may still be true for you. Like you built this great jewelry, or you built this great software, or whatever skill set you have. But the problem is the world changes so fast now. I mean, I'm old enough. Who remembers the Sony Walkman? Anybody ancient enough to remember that shit? That product lasted 20 years. Now a product like that won't even last a year, right? The competition is too high. So today, if you and I are going to really succeed, you got to fall in love with your ideal customer. Because look, I'm sure you know that right now the economy we have is looking pretty good, but it's going to correct because we've done nothing since 2008 except print more money. And we didn't even print money, we put ones and zeros in computers. So there's going to be some corrections, and when those happens, it's going to shake people up. You need to fall in love with a client who's going to do well with you even when the economy goes to hell. Think about it, Starbucks. I was sitting across from Howard Schultz and had a great conversation and said, what is he most proud of? And he said, he used to say starting Starbucks. Then he said, now it's surviving 2008. If they closed, I think it was 1,300 stores, if I remember correctly, for $2 coffee. So you need to get your ass ready for winter, because it's coming. And if you have got challenges now, but if you do well in winter, you'll dominate for the rest of the time. And the way you do well in winter is you fall in love with your ideal clients, and then you come up with the irresistible offer for them. Steve Jobs created 99-cent songs, but he didn't create that shit. We all know that. Where'd it come from? Who's old enough to remember Columbia House, where you got like 10 albums for $1? Remember that? Or for a quarter and stuff. They built $1 billion company. Tom's Shoes, shitty product. I love him. Great what he does, but 2 for 1, being able to do something where I get it and I benefit somebody else, brilliant idea. Built the whole company on that. He didn't build it on the product. He built it on the mission, right? So you need an irresistible offer for the client who's ideal for you, and you want to fall in love with a client. Don't fall in love with your product or service, because those need to change. And if you fall in love with your product or service, somebody's going to beat you. They're going to be anticipating. I always tell businesses, there's 2 businesses you have to manage right now. You have to run the business you're in, because if you don't run that, your cash flow, your challenges are going to bite you. But you also have to run the business you're becoming. And both businesses you have to be making progress on. If you get all excited about the future and all the cool stuff that's coming, and you go work on that, and there's no cash flow now, you're dead in the water. If you just work on today, you're going to wake up and go, what the hell happened? My competition beat me. It's those 2 sides. And my 33 companies, I look at what the company is now and what it has to be constantly. So we're doing the grunt work, if you will, the important day-to-day work, while we're anticipating the future.
Especially multi-level network marketing. It is so dynamic, it is so powerful, and it is so possible in fortune making that sometimes people want to speed up the process by cutting the corners, by neglecting to do the right things, to cheat a little here, cross the line just a little bit, because then, it'll grow faster and you can cash in quicker. Not necessary here. Doing Herbalife right will build your fortune longer and stronger than trying to cut the corners and not doing it right. If we'll have the integrity that Mark had when he started it, and keep perpetuating that we will do the right thing by the marketing system, the right thing by a distributor who has a customer and they take care of that customer belongs to that distributor. That kind of integrity in the marketing system, the kind of integrity we have among each other, the kind of character we have to rely on each other, because here's what we cannot do. We cannot do this by ourselves. Mark's got to count on me. I've got to count on Mark. We've got to count on the president's team. The president's team has to count on the chairman's club for advice and counsel. We have to count on the millionaire team, the tabulator team, the world team. We've got to count on the distributor. We've got to count on the distributor giving the right message to the potential customer. We've got to count on the distributor giving wise counsel to the new recruit, teaching them the right way, the Herbalife way, the principled way, the character way.
Every one of you in this room, no matter what your business is, if you're in business, you're probably doing something well. How many got some area of your business you're proud of, whether it be marketing or sales or the product or the service? How many got an area you're proud of? Say I. How many got an area you're less than proud of? Say I. The challenge is, where does our energy go? To the areas we feel most skilled and powerful in, or least skilled and least powerful in? Which one? No, our energy tends to go to the areas we feel most powerful. We do what makes us feel good. We do what we feel competent in, not what we feel incompetent in.
A big mistake that we make as entrepreneurs is we think that we've got to build everything ourselves. And what's super cool about business today is that there are channels where you can make money so that you don't have to do things that are outside your core expertise. You're a photographer. You're amazing at it. You're a networker. I can already tell. You're amazing at it. What you should never, ever do is spend time building a stock photography site, because that is not your core capability. Okay. But if you just focus on taking photos, which you love, and you upload the stuff that you're not going to monetize some other way to a stock photography site, as long as it's not other, it's not, as long as, you've got the rights to it and everything else, you can make money on that stuff all day long. And in fact, because so many people are creating content, the stock photography sites have exploded. It's not just Getty and Stocklist and some of the other ones that a ton of people use. There are tons of them out there.
Most businesses fail because they fail to anticipate what's coming. Write that down. Write down, anticipation is the ultimate power. If you fail to anticipate, no matter how smart you are, you're going to end up reacting, and your business will pay the price. And the price in the sport we're in is death of the business, just like a gladiator. Because when you know the road ahead, you can anticipate. Write it down again. Anticipation is the ultimate advantage in business and in life. Anticipation, when you know the road ahead, you know what's coming. When you know what's coming, you can anticipate. When you can anticipate, what's the benefit of anticipation? When you anticipate, you're ahead of the game. If you're not anticipating, what do you have to do? React. And when you're in the game of business and you react, you're going to die. It's that simple. I don't care who you are. I don't care how long you've been in business. If you find yourself reacting, you're going to die. You're in business and you didn't anticipate some of the challenges coming up with technology, and all of a sudden it eats you up in a week, in a month. What you built 5, 10 years ago disappears.